Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking TVL. I'm your digital host, Breona Winn, and what this is typically a preview show of what is to come on our lifestyle show, Tennessee Valley Living, as well as what's happening that day. However, a lot of you have noticed and called into the station yesterday that there is no show. We do not have a show until August 15th due to children's programming and the Olympics. And as sad as we are that Miss Payton cannot meet you all at 11 a.m. as she always does every weekday, I'll be back here every weekday at 10 until August 15th when we come back for our first live show since our hiatus. But like I said, a lot of you have noticed, a lot of you called in yesterday, and I'm sure you all will do the same thing today. Know that we miss you, know that we will get back to our regular scheduled programming in a couple of weeks. But until then, meet me back here for Talking TVL. And today's episode is going to be a little different. I'm going to show you all of the episodes that we have of Sounds of the Valley. What is that, you may ask? I'm so glad you did. This is a series created by our producer, Shanika Wright. She is absolutely amazing, and she wanted to take the time to highlight a lot of our local talent. As you know, we are very close to Nashville here in Huntsville, Alabama, but we have a lot of local artists, and they do a phenomenal job. And so Shanika saw it fit to go out and find people and interview them and show off their talent to the rest of America, the rest of the world, the rest of Tennessee Valley. So today I will show you all of the amazing content that she and our videography team have put together so far. And there's three episodes, but there's more to come. We're very excited about that. And I know that when we come back from our hiatus in August 15th, I believe either that day or no, I think that day we're going to have another episode of Sounds of the Valley. I'm excited. I just realized that. That's so cool. So let me start off by showing you our very first episode. Shanika sat down with the artist named Sharona. She's the founder of Heard First Huntsville, and man, can she sing. So without further ado, let's check her out.
The Tennessee Valley is home to so many great things, from the mountain views to the great culture. But one thing you can also find here is the most talented people you'll ever meet. And I'm sitting here with one of them, Miss Sharona Henderson. You have been a part of just so many aspects of the music industry, from on stage, performing, to just behind the scenes. And now you're using your craft that you've learned over the years, and you're helping the new generation of artists in this area. Just tell me more about Heard First Huntsville.
Okay, so Heard First is like my brainchild, my baby, but also it's been formed in community. You know, for me, I'm like, what would happen if we created a culture of creatives, not just singers, but we have interior designers, set designers, videographers, photographers, you know, some of everybody. And we got together and said, we're going to help to create the cultural diverse brand of Huntsville. Mm-hmm. We have over 30 plus different creatives on the team, whether they're songwriters, like I said, or anything else. At the forefront, though, you see a few artists that we put out an album last year called the Teal Album, which was a compilation album of the sounds of Huntsville. So all of that has become what Heard First is, to create that sound that the world will hear, that you'll hear first in Huntsville.
As far as just like more music opportunity, how has it been just for you, like since you came back, and then seeing how it's grown now to like, okay, there are so many opportunities for musicians to put their work out there?
Yeah, it's twofold, right? We have a lot of artists coming in, like the music economy is growing, right? And then it's still the other side of like, what is the sound? What is original music? Mm-hmm. That's why we focus so much on original music and building the original sound. There's still difficulties there. Our artists might sing R&B or hip hop or whatever. We're still limited on venues, and I think Huntsville is learning to bridge the gaps.
How do you juggle like all of these different avenues as far as your career goes, and also you're a parent, you're expecting?
Yeah, so there's the second one's on the way. Trying to answer your question, I don't know. No, with community, with village, the same way you're doing it now. Mm-hmm. When you have the right people around you and you're honest with where you are,
right,
and where you need help and what you can't do, it becomes easier. You know, a game we used to play, maybe a field day, where it's two people and they link arms, and they both leaning back on each other, trying to stand up at the same time. Like, you can stand up when you shouldn't be able to stand up if you got the right person you're leaning on. Because I've been there where literally it's like there's nothing left. I'm crying. I have nothing left to give. I feel completely talented, but under-resourced. Like things can turn around. Everything can turn around in an instant, and that's either for your good or your bad.
So, Sharona, what song are you performing for us today?
Oh man, let's hope I get through it without crying for the people. No, this song is called Summertime. I actually wrote it about my son and being scared of like, I hope I don't fail you too much here. But I love you, and I hope at the end of the day you'll know how I feel. And it's also a country song, which apparently, is very popular in the community right now.
Not the first one.
We came out in September. No. There's a lot of us, but for sure, I actually write more country than any other genre. You just don't always hear me sing it, but this one sounds country. And I'm really excited about doing this, and Aaron Stapler is going to be joining me on guitar doing the acoustic version of that song.
I love
Summertime on the Heard First Till album. All right. There's something about your smile that makes the clouds go away. Something about your touch that brings the sunshine after rain. There's something about your laugh that melts the coldest hearts I've seen. You're the best unexpected gift God's given me. And I hope that I don't fail too much, and over time you'll see you've always been the best part of me. Like jumping in an old lake on a hot steamy day, riding in a truck bed as the wind blows my way, just like grandma's kisses when I fell outside. You remind me of the best times, just like summertime. Something about your eyes that makes the sun seem to dim. There's something about your voice that makes the birds sing their hymns. And even when you get on my nerves, you're sweet like honeycombs. You're the most perfect creation I've ever known. And I hope that I don't fail too much, and over time you'll see you've always been the best part of me. Like a cold glass of sweet tea on a hot steamy day, riding in a tire swing as the wind blows my way, just like grandma's biscuits fresh on a Saturday. You remind me of the best times, just like summertime. And I hope that I don't fail too much, and over time you believe you've always been the best part of me.
Wonderful job, Sharona. So talented. I remember when I first played this on Talking TVL a couple of weeks ago, just to gear up for our most recent interview with Aaron Stapler, which he's going to be the last one that I show you. My dad, who was watching this one, he was like, who is she? She has such an amazing voice. So Sharona, shout out to you if you're watching. Absolutely amazing voice. Make sure you all follow her. Heard First Huntsville, that is the name of her group. So show her some support. Okay, this next one, Alex Banks. Let me tell you, his resume is very impressive. And after you hear him play the saxophone, you're going to understand exactly why. So without further ado, here is Alex Banks.
We're back for another edition of Sounds of the Valley, where we highlight local artists and show their lives on and off screen. And with us today is somebody you might recognize if you've seen them around town, performing on different venues. Or you might have seen him right here on Tennessee Valley Living performing live. It is none other than Mr. Alex Banks, saxophonist. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. At this point, we're friends. Like we're here, we're locked in.
Absolutely.
So just tell me, as far as just like your music career, what really just inspired you to pursue music and saxophone playing at that?
So it's kind of like two-edged, right? So it's like, the first one was like, my mom wanted to play saxophone at a young age, but she couldn't for various reasons. So she wanted me to like try it out. She was like, oh, like you should try this. I was like, all right, let's try it. So I did the audition, and I was like, yeah, I was still into sports too. Like I played basketball. But it wasn't until like the band came to like, I think my elementary school, and like the guy who took a solo was the saxophone guy, right? So I'm like, I want to be hip. I want to take the solo. So from there, I started my saxophone journey from that point. That was kind of what my inspiration was.
Awesome. Okay, so you started your career, and basically how have you just been pursuing it throughout the years? Like what venues and what are some of the highlights that you've seen over your years so far?
Oh man. So it's a couple of them actually. I got to open up for Kool and the Gang when they were here.
Oh.
That was a pretty big one. Jazz in the Park was a big one. I did Jazz in the Park 2016 and 2017. I got to play at the Perfect Note in Birmingham, which a lot of like the greats touch the stage. That was pretty big. So the first time I played there was pretty huge. Also being able to play with like jazz artists like 480 East and Cindy Bradley. I got to do 2 dates with Cindy Bradley and 1 day with 480 East. And those are kind of the moments of my career so far.
Awesome. So I know being a musician isn't like the easiest road. What are some of the hardships that you've personally seen throughout your career?
I think for me, the hardest part about it is actually breaking into the scene, right? So it's like the time and investment of like money and finances that you have to put into just to be like, just to get that breaking moment. And it's like, you never know, right? So you can pour much money, much time, much resources, and then you're like, oh, well, no, wait, you got just one more step, So I think it's like not knowing the breakthrough point. Every breakthrough point is different for everybody else. So it's like, oh, depending on who you work with and, the opportunities you get, and maximizing them, depending on how far you go.
So what's your favorite part of just like performing?
Crowd interaction. Crowd interaction. And it's kind of funny because like when I play, I'm gonna tell you a trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look into the crowd and like I kind of scan the crowd, and whoever locks eyes with me and like is like looking at me move, I'm going to them first.
That's it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, because like you have like that like one or like two people that are like, wow. So I'm like, I'm going to him or her first,
Right.
Because at that point it's like, okay, now I can serenade you, and hey, maybe you can buy a CD, Maybe you can, come to another show, like so.
Exactly, and I think that matters, and people want to feel like connected to the people that they see on stage.
And more times than that, when they're gazing like that, they feel like I'm only playing to them, so I really actually want to only play to them for a hot second.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah.
What are you performing for us today?
Ooh. So today I'm performing one of my singles off of my most recent album, Endless Journey, called Miles Ahead. It's called Miles Ahead because I think this album that I released in 21 was like, life's a journey, and so everything is catered to like, the journey that you're on. So it's like, oh, we have a lot of miles ahead. Like, let's keep trucking, so that's why I call it that.
I love that. I love that.
you go, Alex Banks. If you are interested in any of whatever he's got going on, alexbanksii.com on Google or whatever internet access that you have. Check him out. Awesome, awesome, awesome performer, awesome musician. And yeah, so last up, if you remember from the first episode I just showed of Sharona, when she was performing, she had a lovely guitarist with her. His name is Aaron Stapler is his name, and we're about to watch his episode now. He is a local musician / singer, and he's got a story that you don't want to miss. Take a look.
On this edition of Sounds of the Valley, I am joined by a guitarist who lends his hand in helping other musicians in the Valley and also making his own music. With me, I have Aaron Stapler. How are you today?
All right, how are you?
I am doing fine. So we met before for another shoot, and I was just like, I must talk to this man behind the guitar. I'm just like, he seems so friendly and nice, and he's just like, he's amazing. So I'm
I got you fooled. Yeah.
So now that I got you here, we want to get to know you a little better.
Okay.
So just tell me how you even became interested in playing guitar and just the music world in general.
So it's in my family, right? So my dad played, he was a musician. His dad was a musician. I'm sure his dad was probably a musician as well. Of course, my aunt on his side is a musician. So you grow up around music. You know, I was a drummer for 3 years from age 10 to I guess 13. And then I guess my mom kind of decided I needed something with a volume knob. So they got me a guitar one year, and I didn't even know how to hold it. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna learn this thing. I'm a drummer, I don't wanna, whatever. And I fell in love. I started playing around, strumming some stuff, hitting some notes, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do now, is to play guitar.
Now, I know there's obstacles that come with pursuing a music career. What have you personally experienced as you go about this journey?
Connections are always hard, right? Everyone tells you this business is all about networking. And that's easy to say, just go out and meet people, just go out and be places. And you do have to do that. But it's so hard to do that if your environment is full of people that don't want it to be great.
Right,
you know?
Right.
Again, back to Huntsville. Everybody is so, oh, you do this? Well, I know so-and-so who also does this. Let me link y'all up. Let me get you connected here. You're not just some random person making music in a house, in a basement, in a room, whatever it is. You're part of this group that we're all doing this thing. And on top of that, when you do have those days where you wake up and you're like, I don't deserve to be here. I don't have the ability, or I can't do what I want to do. There's no way I'll ever get there. You can turn to so many other people out here that are going, you can, and either I'm gonna help you, or I'm also trying to do what you're doing, so we're still gonna be here with each other doing this. I love it.
So what advice would you have for someone who's either coming up in the business or just still trying to find like the motivation to continue their journey?
Keep your head up. Keep your head up and keep your head down, right? You gotta grind every day as hard as you can on this thing. And keep your head down in that regard, as well as ignoring the negativity. The second thing is don't be afraid. I believe I would be so much further in my career. I would be so much better of a musician all around if I had not been so scared. But I didn't start singing until I was probably 23. I think had I not been scared, I think I'd been so much more further along in my career as a musician, as a person. So yeah, keep your head down, keep your head up, don't be scared.
And Aaron, what song are you performing for us today?
That one's gonna be an original. It's called Slow Burn. I wrote it with another local, great talent, Matt Prater. We co-wrote this one, yeah.
I used to burn down the ballroom. I used to set the whole night on fire. Coming in hotter than a last call dollar on a whiskey midnight liar. Getting lost in the smoke show. Started sparking and fading the flame. And when it's all over, there's nothing left to show. Nobody but me to blame. I think I'm ready. You were a California weekend. You were a wildfire, I let go. You burned smooth like a steady pour, something I ain't felt before. I know I wanted more, now I think I'm ready for a slow burn. Felt the fire till I got hurt. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever learn. I think I'm ready for a slow burn. I think I'm ready for a slow burn. I fed the fire till I got hurt. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever learn. I think I'm ready for a slow burn.
Wow, what a series. Shout out again to not only Aaron for being an awesome musician, singer, and guitarist and all the things, but Shanika, again, the fact that she made this series and it's doing so well and it's really informative, again, to show off that local talent in the Huntsville or in the Tennessee Valley area. So that's so cool. And again, make sure, I know you guys are crying at home because we do not have a show until August 15th. However, make sure that you are marking your calendars for August 15th because we will have another episode of Sounds of the Valley on that day, as well as our first live episode since our hiatus that we are currently in. But if you're at home and you're wondering, okay, what do I do with myself? There's no TVL, there's no Tennessee Valley Living. What do I do? tvliving.com. You can watch all of our interviews that you've ever seen on the show if you want to go and rewatch whatever. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Speaking of, I've got my phone right here, my handy dandy phone, Tennessee Valley Living. I am on our Instagram. I feel like an influencer. Tennessee Valley Living. You see that blue check mark? That is us. Click that because the post from today is quite comical. Actually, Peyton was training yesterday with the Huntsville City Police Department. And in this video, she is gearing up. She's got the full suit on. And I know that's something that you all want to see. So make sure you go and check that out. I cannot wait for the show to come back on so that we can see this full feature. I know I'm going to crack up. This is comical, truly. And not only did she do that, but we have a whole bunch of other fun things that we're shooting this week. One of them being an early morning boot camp this week that is going to air when we come back on air, obviously. But Peyton is going to be, I don't want to say competing, but she's going to be participating in a boot camp, which will be very interesting to see. So again, mark your calendars for August 15th. That's all I have for you today, and I will see you people tomorrow. Bye.